Are you ready to be shocked? Across Africa, there are ancient traditions and cultural beliefs about sex that will leave you speechless. From rituals that involve offering wives to strangers, to virginity tests, and even semen drinking ceremonies. Yes, you heard that right. These practices may seem unimaginable, but for centuries they've been part of daily life in certain tribes. You're about to uncover shocking sexual customs you've likely never heard of before. And trust me, you won't believe some of the things we're about to reveal. Let's dive into the most surprising sexual practices in African culture. 2. Our first practice is known as sexual cleansing. This ritual is found in countries like Kenya, Zambia, and Malawi. Sexual cleansing is performed when a woman experiences certain life events, such as the death of her husband, her first menstrual period, or after an abortion. The custom requires the woman to have unprotected sex with a man, often chosen by her family. This man could be a family member, like a brother-in-law, or even a paid male stranger, who is there to cleanse her, cleanses her. Many people believe this ritual is essential to keep bad spirits away, but others view it as harmful and outdated. Despite these concerns, sexual cleansing continues in certain communities to this day. Next is the practice of offering a wife to a guest. This custom is most commonly found among the Himba people of Namibia. In this tradition, when a man welcomes a guest into his home, he shows his hospitality by offering his wife to sleep with the guest. The husband leaves the bed, allowing the guest to sleep with his wife for the night. This practice is seen as a sign of respect, gratitude, and trust. While this may seem strange to some, it's deeply rooted in the values of generosity and hospitality within the tribe. The third practice is virginity testing. This is a controversial custom in South Africa, particularly among the Zulu people. Young girls are taken to a secluded room where an elder woman, known as the virginity tester, checks if their hymen is intact. This is done to ensure that the girl is still a virgin. If she passes the test, she's allowed to participate in special ceremonies, such as the Umkhosi Wumhlanga, or reed dance, where young women dance in front of the king. The practice has faced opposition from human rights groups, but many Zulu families still see it as an important cultural tradition to preserve their daughters' purity. Just like women undergo virginity testing, men in some African tribes also face potency testing. This is most commonly found in the Banyankle tribe of Uganda. Before a couple can get married, the bride's aunt tests the groom's sexual abilities to make sure he can perform in bed. Sometimes, the aunt might even watch or listen as the newlyweds have sex for the first time. This practice is meant to guarantee that the groom can father children and satisfy his wife. While it may seem invasive in their culture, it's considered important for the stability of the marriage. Now, let's talk about wife stealing. This custom can be found among the Wodabi tribe in northern Cameroon and parts of Chad. During a special ceremony, men dress up with makeup, feathers, and traditional clothing and perform dances to impress the women. The women then have the power to choose any man they like by tapping him on the shoulder. If the man agrees, he can steal the woman, and they spend the night together, even if the woman is already married. This practice is accepted during the festival, and it's seen as a form of courtship and freedom for women. Moving on to a more unusual practice. In the Mangaya tribe of the South Pacific, boys as young as 12 or 13 are taught how to have sex by older women. These women teach the boys different sexual techniques and how to please their future partners. This tradition is meant to ensure that the boy grow into confident and knowledgeable men. Although this may sound shocking, for the Mangaya people, it is a normal part of growing up. Another practice that might seem disturbing to outsiders is found among the Sambia tribe in Papua New Guinea. Boys in the tribe are required to drink the semen of the tribe's strongest warriors as part of their initiation into manhood. This act is believed to make them stronger and more powerful. While this practice may be viewed as highly unusual or even disgusting by other cultures, it holds great meaning and significance within the Sambia tribe. Next, we look at the Tonga tribe in Mozambique, where kissing is not part of romantic relationships. The Tonga people see kissing as unhygienic because it involves the exchange of saliva. In their culture, love and intimacy don't require kissing, which they believe is a Western custom that doesn't fit with their own traditions. In some African tribes, women take the lead in initiating sexual encounters. For example, in the Guajiro tribe, women perform a dance where they use their movements to attract men. By tripping the men during the dance, they make their intentions clear, and this may lead to sexual relationships. In this culture, women have the power to choose their sexual partners. Finally, in some African tribes like the Brianda tribe, children start engaging in sexual activity at a very young age. Girls may start as young as 6 and boys around 10. This is part of their cultural beliefs that encourage early sexual experience as a natural part of growing up. Lesson 2. Sexual cleansing. In sexual cleansing, a woman who has experienced a significant life event, such as the death of her husband, her first menstrual flow, or even after an abortion, participates in a unique ritual. The belief is that these experiences can leave her spiritually unclean. To restore her purity, she is permitted to have unprotected sex with a man. This man can be a widow's brother, in-law, a hired individual, or even a sex worker. This practice is often facilitated by the woman's family, who ensure that the cleansing ritual is performed. It is believed that this act helps to cleanse her spiritually and emotionally. While some communities embrace this practice as a means of healing, others view it as controversial or even absurd. It raises many questions about gender roles, sexuality, and cultural beliefs. For many, it is a deeply personal and sacred ritual, representing a path back to normalcy after trauma. In some cases, sexual cleansing can also be seen as a way to express gratitude and hospitality. It's not uncommon for husbands to invite their guests to share the bed with their wives, viewing it as an honor and a demonstration of trust. Though this practice may seem shocking to outsiders, for those within these cultures, it holds significant meaning. It emphasizes the importance of community, family ties, and the ways in which they navigate the complexities of life. As we continue to learn about these unique cultural practices, it's essential to approach them with an open mind. Understanding these traditions helps us appreciate the rich tapestry of human experience across different societies. Join us as we explore more fascinating and shocking sexual practices in African tradition. Welcome back. Today, we're diving into a deeply controversial and often shocking practice found in some African cultures: virginity and potency testing. While many may find these rituals hard to comprehend, they play a significant role in certain communities where tradition holds great importance. In some cultures, particularly among the Zulu people of South Africa, virginity testing is a rite of passage for young women. This testing involves taking a girl into a private room where a qualified tester examines her to see if her hymen is intact. The process is both invasive and personal, aiming to determine if she is a virgin. If the testing confirms that she is a virgin, the young girl receives a certificate, allowing her to participate in ceremonial events, such as the annual Umkhosi Wumhlanga, or reed dance. This dance is a celebration of purity and is performed in front of the king and community, where girls proudly showcase their virginity. However, The practice of virginity testing has faced criticism from human rights activists and the South African government, who argue that it is degrading and can lead to trauma for young girls. Many believe that it perpetuates harmful stereotypes about female sexuality and places undue pressure on young women. But it's not just women who face testing. In some tribes, like the Banyankole in Uganda, men also undergo potency testing before marriage. Here, the bride's aunt plays a critical role in assessing the groom's sexual capability. The couple must pass this test to proceed with their wedding plans. This practice is rooted in the belief that sexual health is vital for a successful marriage. The aunt's responsibility is to ensure that the groom is fit for his future role as a husband, ensuring both emotional and physical compatibility. While these testing practices are grounded in cultural beliefs, they highlight the complex views on sexuality, gender, and honor within different societies. For some, these traditions are vital to community identity, while others view them as outdated and harmful. Lesson 3. Virginity and potency testing. In some cultures, particularly among the Zulu people of South Africa, virginity testing is a rite of passage for young women. This testing involves taking a girl into a private room where a qualified tester examines her to see if her hymen is intact. The process is both invasive and personal, aiming to determine if she is a virgin. If the testing confirms that she is a virgin, the young girl receives a certificate, allowing her to participate in ceremonial events such as the annual Umkosi Wumflanga or Reed dance. This dance is a celebration of purity and is performed in front of the king and community, where girls proudly showcase their virginity. However, the practice of virginity testing has faced criticism from human rights activists and the South African government, who argue that it is degrading and can lead to trauma for young girls. Many believe that it perpetuates harmful stereotypes about female sexuality and places undue pressure on young women. But it's not just women who face testing. In some tribes, like the Banyankole in Uganda, men also undergo potency testing before marriage. Here, the bride's aunt plays a critical role in assessing the groom's sexual capability. The couple must pass this test to proceed with their wedding plans. This practice is rooted in the belief that sexual health is vital for a successful marriage. The aunt's responsibility is to ensure that the groom is fit for his future role as a husband, ensuring both emotional and physical compatibility. While these testing practices are grounded in cultural beliefs, they highlight the complex views on sexuality, gender, and honor within different societies. For some, these traditions are vital to community identity, while others view them as outdated and harmful. Lesson 4. Giving a wife to a guest. In some tribes, particularly among the Himba people of Namibia and the Hemba people in the Democratic Republic of the Congo, hospitality is taken to an extraordinary level. When honored guests arrive, it's not uncommon for a husband to offer his wife to the guest as a sign of respect and gratitude. This practice is rooted in deep cultural beliefs about generosity and communal bonds. By sharing a wife, the husband demonstrates his wealth, status, and the strength of his family ties. It symbolizes trust and a strong connection between the families involved. During these gatherings, the wife is viewed as a symbol of hospitality. It's important to note that this act is not seen as infidelity, but rather as a gesture of goodwill. After all, the community's strength relies on mutual support and respect among its members. However, this practice can be quite controversial, especially when viewed through a modern lens. Critics argue that it objectifies women and raises questions about their autonomy and consent. In contrast, many within these cultures see it as a proud tradition that fosters kinship and social bonds. Interestingly, These customs reflect the complexities of relationships in various cultures. In some instances, the wife may engage willingly in these practices, viewing them as a way to honor her husband's guests and strengthen community ties. As we examine this unique practice, it's crucial to remember that cultural customs are often intertwined with historical contexts and societal values. Understanding these traditions can help bridge the gap between different perspectives, fostering a greater appreciation for the diversity of human experience.